So, welcome guys to Portugal. There's a lot of expectation to see Coldplay again. I would like to first start to ask you if you still get nervous before the shows.
A little bit today because this is the first show of the kind of leg of the tour, so we haven't played for about 5 weeks. So there's always the fear that you can't remember how to play any of the songs, but we've had a quick practice and I think it's going to be okay. But I think generally before the shows we feel more excitement than nervousness.
Do you still remember being nervous?
Yeah, definitely. And it comes if things start to go wrong. That's when the nerves set in. But generally, I remember the feeling of being nervous, really, really nervous. But I think it's more live television. I find more nerve-wracking than live shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with a live show, you make a mistake, you have a lot of time to make it up. You know, you have the next bar, you have the next song.
You don't get stuck in the mistake, thinking about it.
No, because there's so much goodwill and your friends are all kind of, we just laugh at each other if we get it wrong, you know, there's no kind of scowling.
You did it wrong.
Yeah, no, we just sort of, we laugh it off, and most of the time it probably isn't heard by the audience, but we know. So when Guy or Johnny hits a funny note, I just look at them and with a big smile on my face, waiting for them to turn around and acknowledge the mistake.
So I guess it's always Johnny that gets it wrong. So
it's no, I would say there's an equal spread of faults. I would say we're all equally fallible.
What you were talking about mistakes on stage? What was the most awkward or embarrassing moment that you had on stage?
Oh, we've had some absolute shockers.
We did it was quite a long time ago, but we were doing an in-store performance in, I think it was like a
record shop.
It was a record store in Los Angeles, and the host went out on the stage, and there was a crowd in the record store who'd come down to watch us, and the host went out with the microphone and introduced us and welcomed us on stage, and we walked on stage to play this short set, and there was absolutely no instruments on the stage. There was a real communication error between our crew, and so there was nothing for us to.
So you thought we're going a cappella today?
Yeah, well, we had to walk off and say, we'll
come back in an hour when our crew have put all the instruments on the stage. So that was an interesting.
And again, so some TV things or radio shows, when there's a lot of bands and a lot of moving parts, they can be quite complicated, and we've had a few big errors in that as well. So normally when we get introduced or someone introduces us and we go on, but we go on early or we go on late or something, it tends to be fairly comical. But thankfully on this, on our own tour, things run pretty smoothly.
Now we are beginning a new leg, as you said, of the tour. But when you are in the middle of a world tour, a big one, do you always know where you are, actually? Because it's hotel, plane, travel. Do you always know where you wake up?
I think sometimes that especially when you're jet lagged, and you wake up in a hotel room, and I find it's to do with I don't know where the door is or I don't know where the windows are, and I think I had that moment where I think which hotel is this? Where am I? And then it takes a moment, but generally I think we're pretty alright with it.
How do you decide the set list? I'd like to know that.
It's a challenge, and it takes us a while at the beginning of a tour to kind of settle on the main structure. Of course we play a lot of, we have quite a lot of albums now, so we have to choose the songs people know from each album. But also some songs of ours, they just work better live in a stadium environment than other songs.
Yeah,
of our last album there's a song called Coloratura, which is kind of a long semi-orchestral piece, which we love, but it's very difficult in a stadium because of the nature of the music. So sometimes you choose the songs based on the environment that you're in.
Does it change the set list throughout the tour?
It changes, evolves slowly, and there's some song positions that we'll kind of rotate songs in that position from night to night, just to kind of mix it up a bit and keep us feeling fresh.
Yeah, so sometimes the idea of keeping them fresh, sometimes I think we all agree that when you're doing the same song so many times, that there comes a time when you think, I don't feel like playing this one again. But I want to ask you the other way around. Is there one time on a show where you like fall in love again with that song?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I would say it's sort of different every show, and sometimes we know when the moments are going to happen in certain songs, but then sometimes in certain places songs just have a different journey. The one case in point I remember a long time ago when we were doing Ghost Stories, we played a small show in Paris, and the song Ink, we started to play that song, and I really liked that song, but I was worried that I know people don't really know it, and we started to play it, and the French crowd just went crazy with that, with the sort of chant, and I was like, what? This is crazy. I
love the song.
I think it's great, but you didn't expect it, so I was like, wow, there's something in this. So that was a nice surprise. But generally, I think we know when the moments will come.
Did you had a moment like this also? A song that suddenly you felt on stage, hey, I really like this one.
Possibly, I don't remember.
So many, it's hard to pick one.
I mean, I would say the songs that, I don't think any of the songs we're playing now we ever get kind of feel fed up playing or we get bored of. You know, those songs have already long left the set list, you know? Okay. So I think the songs that we're playing, we genuinely enjoy playing and we love playing and we feel that they're appropriate and they're exciting to play.
Let's go the other way around. Do you have favorite ones?
Okay, difficult.
Surprise me.
Difficult to say because they all behave differently in different settings. But I'm enjoying playing the Scientist at the moment. I think that's one that's consistently been. I can't really imagine a show without it.
Without it, yeah. And you?
I don't have a favourite. Sometimes, you know, we can be playing the same song, you know, from night to night, and sometimes we play it in a way where it just sounds great, or something is we're all just kind of in that pocket where it's just, you know, it's super tight, you know, rhythmically, and everybody's just playing it, and it can feel elevated, you know. So from night to night, the same song can feel quite different. But I don't think I have a favourite.
Mm-hmm. What would be a great song that you know and you love, not a Coldplay song, that you hear it and you go, wow, I wish it would be us doing this song.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Gosh,
in terms of a sort of stadium environment, I wonder. When we were just playing some shows in South America, and we played a cover song of a very famous Argentinian band called Soda Stereo, called La Música Ligera. And it's not a song that we were familiar with growing up, but we learnt it, and in Argentina and so whenever we played that, we'd be thinking, our show's going great, and then we play that one, and then suddenly it's another level, so I feel like, I wish we'd written that one.
Yeah.
Do you get it also when you hear a great song, a favorite of yours, and you go, I wish this could be us inventing
I
it?
think that all the time if you connect with a song. I mean, it could be anything from like a jazz tune to, or you know, Queen are kind of amazing. You know, like their songs work so well in stadiums. You know, so like, and they're so complex, and the musician, the kind of the craft of the musicianship is wonderful. So. Sometimes I'll hear a Queen song and I'll think, wow, I wish we could, you know, do something like that, or just do that, or have written that one. Yeah.
Maybe you could do, well, I'm expecting today nothing less than Bohemian Rhapsody, so please work on it.
Yeah, that will take a while.
I chose an easy one.
Yeah, of course, simple.
A simple one for you too. Do you remember, be honest, do you remember the first time you played in Portugal? Because I don't look like I know, but I'm 52 years old. And I had the privilege of seeing the premiere of Coldplay in Portugal in a up north festival where you play between a Portuguese alternative rock band called Mão Morta and the Flaming Lips.
I do remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yes, playing with the Flaming Lips, I remember that. What's the name of the festival?
Paredes de Cora.
Yeah, that's so weird. I was thinking about that the other day, and I'll tell you why. Because I remember when we were there, Wayne Coyne from the Flaming Lips, we were in the dressing room area, we were having food or something, after the show, he came and chatted to us, and we're huge Flaming Lips fans. We love the Flaming Lips. Some of their shows were the most inspirational things for us to watch. And he said something like, you know, oh, we didn't want to come on after you guys, because by the time we come on, the crowd are like, we've had enough of this sappy piano shit. So I thought, and it was obviously he was being kind, and it felt like a sort of, you know, he was a kindred spirit. So I do remember that. I can see it. I can see that room.
And it's a beautiful place. Yeah. It's a countryside with a river.
Yeah. I remember it really well.
So it's a question I have. Do you actually remember your life before Coldplay? Do you miss anything?
In some cases, it's easier to remember the things that happened before. I mean, like for instance, I don't have any recollection of that festival whatsoever, or probably a lot of the places that we've gone to, because simply we've done so much traveling over the last 25 years. So it's difficult. You know, if I saw a picture or if I saw a little video of that moment, it would come back to me. But you know, it is like 25 years of traveling. It's just like a huge blur.
But
I mean, it's been an awesome blur, but
you think there's easier to remember?
You know, I remember college and school and my childhood in many ways a lot more clearly than the journey we've had.
What do you miss when you're a long time away from home with this enormous tour around the world? What's the thing that you miss the most about home?
Children.
Yeah, I was going to say, better say children.
I think that's the hardest thing. I mean, our kids sometimes come out and join us if it's possible.
Yes, kids, of course. But I was thinking about something from home that you don't have around the world, something more day to day. Some.
Yeah, I think for me, being on tour is such a wonderful experience, and playing music is incredible. Sometimes I find it hard, especially when some of the fact we have such amazingly wonderful, passionate fans, and just sort of slipping quietly away to have a coffee somewhere or just a quiet space can be quite difficult. Whereas where I live in London, no one gives a shit. So it's quite nice to just I miss that. I miss being able to walk out of my house and just go to the shops and have a cup of coffee. Because when we come to a city, you know, it's like the thing is here, the stadium, the crew, it's like a big event, and people are looking out for you, and so that sometimes can be a bit, you know, sometimes I miss that feeling of just being able to be completely anonymous.
Being a nobody.
Yeah, I love being a nobody.
One thing, is there a song or several ones that you didn't believe that much in the song, and it turned out to be a major hit?
Will talk to you about that. He's the master of
You had some?
Yeah, always. And I
always?
Yeah.
You're a guy of a little faith in your band.
Well, the song is in question that Guy's referring to is Clocks, because I definitely struggled with it at the beginning, because I couldn't. I know it's crazy, right? And I've repented and I've apologized, and I feel like I've aired this. I've had this conversation with many an interviewer. So I think that I found it difficult at the beginning, because a lot of our early songs were very emotionally. The lyrics were very emotional and intimate, and that was the zone that I was in. And that song, Clocks, was a blueprint and the first version of a kind of song that we've done a few times now, like, where the riff, the melody line is the song, you know, and so things like other songs of ours, like Charlie Brown, or, you know, there are songs where the riff is the most important thing. And at that time, I was into folk music. I was into very intimate sounding, soulful lyrics, and I couldn't see beyond the fact that I couldn't hear a song. Yeah, I could hear a brilliant piece of music, but I couldn't hear the song, you know, in it, and I'm fully aware that I was entirely wrong.
Will, Clocks is a great song.
It's a great piece of music.